Morning, guys. Ramona here from Bonsai with Ramona. Hope you guys had an awesome week. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for all the support throughout the week with following my blogs and everything like that. Today, I thought I would just be talking to you guys about the blog that I wrote on Thursday. The blog just discusses the different sizes of bonsai. So, what I did is, if you guys have a quick look at the other camera that I set up, you'll
You'll
see
see
that
that
there's
there's
actually
actually
a
a
small
small
bonsai
bonsai
tree
tree
there.
there.
And
And
what
what
I'll
I'll
do
do
now
now
is
is
I'll
I'll
move
move
over
over
and
and
I'll
I'll
just
just
discover
discover
the
the
different,
different,
just
just
discuss
discuss
the
the
different
different
sizes.
sizes.
And
And
then
then
what
what
I'll
I'll
do
do
is
is
I'll
I'll
just
just
go
go
through
through
the
the
pots.
pots.
And
And
when
once
once I'm
I'm
done
done
with
with
that,
that,
I'll
I'll
actually
actually
show
show
you
you
guys
guys
exactly
exactly
how
how
to
to
style
style
a
a
bonsai
bonsai
tree.
tree.
It's
It's
just a
just a
small
small
tree
tree
that
that
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
be
be
working
working
on
on
just
just
to
to
show
show
you
you
guys
guys
how
how
it
it
works.
works.
And
And
then
then
you
you
guys
guys
can
can
make a
make a
decision
decision
and
and
see
see
how
how
it
it
looks
looks
and
and
actually
actually just work on
the
the
different
different
techniques
techniques
that
that
you
you
guys
guys
need
need
to
to
work
work
on
on
trees.
trees.
So
So
let
let
me
me
go
go
over
over
to
to
that
that
side
side
and
and
then
then
I'll
I'll
explain
explain
to
to
you
you
quickly
quickly
what
what
the
the
bonsai
bonsai
tree
tree
is
is
and
and
the
the
different
different
size
size
classifications
classifications
that you
that you
guys
guys
have.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
sorry,
so
so
I'm
I'm
just
just
moving
moving
over
over
from
from
the
the
one
one
side.
side.
So
So as you guys can see, this is one of the smaller bonsai trees that I have. So as I explained in the blog, there's different sizes that you can use, and this is a small tree, and as you can see, I can actually hold it in my hand, and there's not a lot of detail in the tree. So what you need to do is you need to experiment with sizes that work for you. One thing that you need to keep in mind, and I also explained this in the blog, is that you need to water these trees a bit more regularly than you do the bigger sized bonsai trees. The reason for that is this small pot is very shallow, it's about say 3 centimeters deep, so it can only hold a certain amount of water. Now, what you need to keep in mind is also that you need to make sure that at the bottom of the pot, let me actually just grab a small pot over here. So at the bottom of the pot, there's a big enough hole for the water to drain, so that you can actually, for the water to drain freely, so the plant doesn't stand in water. It should be moist, but it shouldn't be too wet. So as you can see, these look like nice bonsai pots, but they're actually small sauce trays that actually drill holes in. And one thing you need to just keep in mind, these holes don't get in here very easily because it's ceramic and it's baked, so it's very hard. So there are small bonsai pots available like this one, but as you can see, it's a bit too big for this tree. So what I did is I actually just bought a couple of these sources and I made my own bonsai pots. So this is how I style my trees and this is the pots that I use. I just wanted to give you some examples. So this is also a small source bowl that I bought to use for bonsai. And as you can see, our bottom is quite big. The reason for that is it's just so that the water can drain freely, so your tree doesn't stand in a lot of water. So you add a piece of mesh over that so the sand doesn't flow out at the bottom when you're watering your tree. So these are all the pots, the different sizes that I have for these specific types of trees. So they are nice, and as you can see, there's a lot of detailed work done on there. But there's also, whenever you do big cuts, so you'll see here there's a bit of branches that die back, and the leaves are quite small. So this is olive tree, and there's a little branch going on this side. So they grow back very nicely. The thing is just, it takes a lot of time to work with them, and also you need to work very carefully and you need to be gentle with them because these branches break easily, especially if you want to wire them. So this is the smallest size that I work on, and then I just wanted to show you guys so what the where the medium-sized bonsai trees actually start. Here you go. This is a medium-sized bonsai tree that I have. So this is what would be classified as a showen. So from where the root base starts to the top of the tree is about 20 centimeters, so that would classify it as showen. If it goes over to 25 centimeters, you will start classifying it as something else. So this is the one tree that I've been growing for quite some time now, and I also styled it by wiring it at first, but now the branches are so compact that I'm actually just pruning this tree. I'm not putting on any more wire, because as you can see, the gaps in between the leaves are quite small, so it would be very difficult for me to get in between these branches to actually apply wire onto this tree. So I just pruned this tree. And also, as you can see, it's a deciduous tree, so a lot of the soil is still moist, and I've only watered it, I think, a day ago. So it allows me, so the tree stays wet for a lot longer, because it's not using up all that energy. That's the one tree. Then I actually want to take you guys through to one of the other trees that I have, also classified as a medium-sized bonsai, and it's this guy over here. So if you guys have been following me for quite some time now, you would have noticed that this is the tree that I've been working on for at least 6 years now. And the thing about this tree is it's a very, very easy tree to work with. It doesn't have a lot of maintenance. Watering it is also fairly easy. And as you can see, there's a really nice shape form. Here you can see the sides of the tree. And it's a very, very nice tree to work with. Not a lot of maintenance, but also, you can see the soil on this tree is a lot more damp than on the others. So it maintains moisture for a bit longer. So it's very easy to work on this tree. I did a lot on this tree the other day, and I explained something that there's a bit of a branch on this side that I removed wire, and the wire that I removed actually cut into the bark, and I actually damaged the bark to get the wire off. So this branch over here has died off, but it's not the end of the world. The tree will survive. So I basically just lost this part over here. So this is a couple of branches on this side. I could eventually just bend over to that side, and it would be able to form a beautiful tree again. So it's not the end of the world. It's just a bit of damage that happens every now and then. So that's what happens. So I just want to show you the pots for these types of trees. So the medium-sized pots, you can see that there's a bit more variety. So this is one of the small pots that I actually bought for one of my ficus trees. And the pot actually became too shallow for the tree, because what happens is with ficus trees, the roots swell up and they tend to boil. They boil out of the pot, so they lift themselves out of these pots. So this pot was a bit too shallow. So I just repotted into a big container. So now I just use this as a demo pot, because I don't have any other smaller trees. And I don't think I'm actually going to buy any smaller trees to put in here, or grow any trees to fit in here. But this is a nice pot if you're looking at something in that size. And then just a little bit. So this is another one pot that's slightly bigger. So it's exactly the same principle as the other one. But as you see, as pots go bigger and bigger, they actually start to have your 2 watering holes, and then after the watering holes you get 2 smaller sets of holes, and those are actually for you to put your wire through and then secure the tree into the pot. So that is what these smaller holes are for. They get to secure your tree in the pot, because the pot is so shallow and the soil won't keep the tree up steady, especially in windy conditions. And if you just repotted it, the roots don't grab into the pot, so that will just stabilize the tree. So whenever you're moving it, or whenever the tree is blown over, the tree doesn't come out of the pot. So that just helps for that. So there's another bigger pot. Let me just grab that one. So this pot also falls under the medium-sized pots. And also this is the last size before you start going up onto the larger bonsai pots. And as you can see, very comfortable for one person to carry, and it has a bit of weight on it itself. Exactly the same as the others. It has the big holes on the inside for drainage, and it's made out of a bit thicker clay, so it's very light, but also you can hear it's very strong. So if they fall, they do break, so be careful when handling these. And when packaging them, especially if you're shipping them, if you bought some, just make sure that you're adding enough cushioning so that it actually doesn't hit the edge of the pot, because it will break. So this is the one pot that I wanted to show you guys. This is the last pot that I'm going to show you guys. We just pack all of these smaller pots into this pot, just to make myself some space to work. So now I'll just be bringing over the tree that I want to work on, and then you guys can see how I style that tree. So that tree is a tree that I used for a demo a few years ago, back when I did a competition, and I'll just be working on it and just show you guys how you can actually use different techniques to shorten a tree, but also to do the initial styling on a tree. So here we go. Let me grab this tree. So here's the tree. So since I worked on this tree, I actually took off all the wire, let it grow out for a year or two, and then I left the tree to gain some vigor in the growth. And as you can see, it's quite a healthy tree. There's a lot of growth on there. Sorry, I just see the camera is angling a bit down because I did that other screen just now. Let me just do that so you can get a bit more face, and I'm cutting myself off. See, that's better. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so yeah, so this is what I've been working on, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to angle the tree so you can actually. So every tree has a front. So before you actually start working on the tree, the best thing to do is to decide what the front of your tree is going to be. So before you just do any styling, it's best to decide which side is your front. So for me, I like this front over here, so I'm just going to angle it so you can actually see. So here, this is what I would use as my front because it has nice movement and the trunk is already leaning in towards the viewer. So you always want the tree to lean into the viewer so it can give you a nice perspective. Then I have a first branch, which would be this one, and a secondary branch would be this one, which is not like ideal points at this point in time because this one's coming out on the side and this one's slightly to the back. But what I'll do with a piece of wire, excuse, I'll actually just bend these in so it looks a bit more full on this side. So I'll wire the trunk first and then move these into place. This is going to be my apex over here. So I'll bend this branch down as a back branch to the back over here just to create some depth. And then what I'll do is I'll remove a part of this branch over here. So I'm probably going to remove everything from here onwards because this is drawing a lot of energy currently, and if I want this to be my apex, I need more growth on that side so that all the sap flows towards this side so that there's a bit more growth on this end of the tree. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Then I'm going to be, so with junipers, you don't want to cut off the branches too close to where the new growth is coming out. So you want to leave a bit of stump so that you can actually, because it will die back a bit, and it actually looks a bit more natural if you just leave a bit of stump so that you can actually see how that part looks, and it looks a bit more natural. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove that branch, and I'm just going to use this. So I'm going to move this branch slightly back over here, see how that goes. I'm going to remove this entire piece over here. Then I'm going to use these two as part of the design. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use. Yes, I'm going to use that because there's not a lot of other growth on there. Okay, and then that's it. So the other thing that I just wanted to show you guys as well is over here. This tree has quite a big. This branch is quite big. And I actually want to bend this down so that it can form part of the tree, but at this angle over here. Because I'm going to do that big bend, and this tree is probably going to split here, I'm going to split it anyway. So I'm going to use a saw, and then I'm actually going to cut. So this is a bonsai saw, but this one is way too thick for this part over here. So it will work on a bigger tree, but this is too big to use for there. So I actually brought a smaller saw that I'm just going to use just to cut this open slightly. Just to open this up, because what's going to happen is if I'm going to bend it, it is going to break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it open. I'm going to reinforce that with a piece of wire so that it actually holds the tree in place. And I'm also going to wrap some of this rubber over it so that it can actually stay in place. So what this allows the tree to do is whenever you tie this around the branch, it just secures everything in place and make sure that the outside bark doesn't come loose from the growth. So if that comes loose, then the sap won't flow in between the branch and the hard part of the trunk. So that it will just cause the tree to die. So what I'll do now is I'll just start wiring the main branch and cutting this open first, and then reinforcing that so that I can actually bend it away. So let's just see. Let's just get the saw in here quickly. I start cutting it slowly. I don't want to cut too deep. But the thing is, you want to decide where the cut is going to be. Otherwise, the tree is just going to tear apart itself, and that's something that you don't want. Because if you don't design it, somebody else will decide where it's going to rip open. And also, you don't want to cut past so the trees. Too far into the knot, because then you're going to remove the tree completely from the base of the branch. So that's enough. You just see, okay, just a bit more. So I can actually bend that. Okay, in. Yeah, as I said, I'm not cutting too much at once. Just doing it little by little so that I can actually control the amount of. And also what I did is I used a saw with a very, very fine tooth. That just helps you, because if you look at that one, that has big teeth. It would basically just hack away on this tree and you will rip the bark apart. So using something with smaller teeth helps a lot. So this is about, the size on these teeth are like 32 every inch. So this is fine. It works a lot better. So you use this is the same one that you use to cut steel. So this is just a smaller saw handle that I'm using. So let me just cut this open. So once I cut this open, I'll start applying wire. Just see, okay, almost done. Let's go deeper. There we go. That should be deep enough. That's just past the knot, and also gives me enough space to actually move it open. So what I'll do now is I'll actually start applying the wire to the main trunk first. Let me just grab the right wire. So I have different gauges of wire here. So the nice thing to keep in mind is normally when you're wiring a trunk is that the wire that you use should be a third of the tree's width. But with this, I'm not too worried about that, because the main trunk is already bent. So I'm basically just going to use this size wire. It's about 4 mils, just to keep, because I want you to continue using the same width of wire for the entire branch. So it's not going to bend this part, but it's definitely going to be able to position this part of the tree. So I'm going to stick this into this soil at the back over here. So that's just to anchor it. There you go. And then I'll start wrapping that around. But before I get to that, I just want to just apply this rubber to the tree so that I can just wrap it on there once. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use a small piece of wire just to keep this from going to both of them, so that I don't have to do separate anchors. So I'm going to just grab both of these pieces of rubber, so the one is for the one branch and the one is for the other. So let me just wrap this around here. And I'm going to wrap this on here. There we go. So that piece of wire, so just keep it in place till I get the main over there. So there we go. It's also really easy to get your branches caught up in the rubber. So it's a good idea to always just work slowly and try and apply as much force as possible onto the rubber, because you don't want the. Okay, just open this up. Let's get in there, in between these two. Okay, there we go. That's for that part, and this one will go around for the other part. So once you establish which one's going where, you can actually just go in and wrap it up. Now, nice and tight. Okay, there we go. It is a good idea to prepare everything that you need up front, so that when you need it, you don't have to stop, because when you're applying force to the rubber, you actually don't want to leave the tension is you want to keep to stay as tight as possible around the tree so that you don't lose the cavity that goes around the branches. So I'm just bringing it here because I'm putting a lot of pressure on this branch over here. So just apply it on over here. I'm just going to apply it just where the two smaller branches emerge. And then I'm going to take another piece of small wire just to wrap it into place. So as you see what I did, I explained to you guys that you should prepare everything up front. But I catch myself not doing it. But I'm used to multitasking, so it's not too bad. Once you get the hang of it, go and just apply. Apply over here. So for you that are just joining in, so what I'm doing is I'm actually just going to style this tree for you guys. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have enough time to do the entire tree, but I'll try and get this as quick as possible. If you guys don't see the end product, what I'll do is I'll actually just post it in my social media pages, and then you guys can have a look at that at your own time. I do see, from where I'm standing now, there is a bit of lag on YouTube, and that the circles turning and searching for signal, but it says that has a good connection. So if you guys can just please give me a thumbs up, just let me know that everything's coming right out on your side, that would be great, because I keep on staring over at the monitor over there, just to see if everything's going well, and I just don't want to waste any of your time with issues, otherwise I could just restart the stream. So yeah, if you guys can just post in the comment section and let me know if you guys can see the stream okay, that would be great. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just continue. So this is just applying this rubber to the other side as well. Just putting it as tight as possible. Just get over here. There we go. Should be tight enough. And then what I'll do with during the weeks after this, I'll post a couple of updates. So every week, during live stream, I'll just try and get this tree on as well, so you guys can actually see the progress of the tree, so that whenever you styling a tree, you would know exactly how long it would take for the tree to start forming new growth. So that's actually a good idea, so you guys don't have to worry about what happens, because sometimes, so what you guys have to keep in mind is that not everything you do will work. Sometimes you will lose a branch or two, sometimes it works out perfectly, and then it's a bonus, but there are times where you actually lose branches. So when you start trees for the first time, it's not set in stone, and the trees do have a mind of their own. But if the better you get at styling trees, the more accurate results you're going to get, and also the more consistent your results are going to be. So don't let that first few trees that don't come up perfectly actually discourage you. There is a lot that I learn even every day. So yeah, don't let that small bumps in the road discourage you. Just wrap this wire up. So when applying wire, you should always make sure that you apply it as a 45-degree angle, because at that angle, the wire has more grip, and also it's a lot stronger than any other angle. If you make the angle too wide, it doesn't have any effect. If you apply the angle too small, it's going to be like a spring, and it's not going to do anything at all. So the 45-degree angle works the best. So always try and apply your wire at a 45-degree angle. And also another thing to keep in mind is when you're applying your wire, say at a clockwise rotation, make sure that the bend that you're going to make in the tree is also done in a clockwise position. So this branch is going to go down that way. So I'm winding the wire on that way. So what this helps you with is whenever you bend the branch towards the right, the wire is automatically setting in place, but it's also tightening around the bark, which allows the tree to set way better. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. When applying that movement, just make sure that the tree is set in the same direction, just to avoid any complications. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to apply the wire like 2 turns around this branch over here. I'm going to use the same wire just to apply it from there all the way up to the outer edges of the tree. So let me go this way. There we go. This is around. So just like that once. And I'll cut it off over here. So let's do this. So now I'm going to apply this piece of wire that was left from here onwards. So what I did, why I did that is that now that wire is sitting is going to be the anchor for the rest of the. Can you decide if it's on the outside or the inside? So it's going to be a bit. This is going to be better. Okay. So let's just going to do 2 turns towards this side, and then I'll move over to the other side. So there we go. This is the one side. Right. Towards the other side. Go. And I'm just turning the tree around so I can actually work a bit more comfortable. So there we go. So if you don't have rubber, you can also use raffia, but obviously I couldn't find any raffia because it's still in lockdown. So I cycled a lot, so what I did is I actually just used pieces of my tubes that I have lying around, my old spare tubes, and I just cut them to size so that I can be able to use them. I'm just going to apply another piece of wire from this last part of the trunk that's still open. And then I'll turn that over. Let's just apply it from this. You always want to leave, just add a bit of extra wire in, especially if you're anchoring a new wire. So make sure that the side of the other wire that you're using is working nicely so that you can actually still add in another piece of wire if you need to, if you need a bit more strength. So that's going to be applied all the way to here. And I'll cut it off. Yeah, this is one part of bonsai that I actually love. I like this because it always, you never know what you're going to get at the end. Or you plan something and then halfway through the styling of the tree there's something else that stands out. So this is a part that I do love a lot. I think a lot of bonsai artists like styling trees. Maintaining a tree also gives you a kick, but yeah, styling a tree, I mean, that's, nothing could be better than that. I mean, there's so much potential in every tree that you touch that gives you that opportunity to design something new. So yeah, I really, really like styling trees. The only part that I hate about styling trees is actually removing all this wire afterwards, because that is a pain all by itself. That's the one part. So this part of the tree is all wired now, so the trunk and these 2 branches are wired. So what I'll do is I'll start wiring the bottom part of the tree. I'll probably be using a 2mm wire for that. Let's see how it. So what I have is so one thing to keep in mind is actually just whenever you're cutting off wire or removing wire, just throw it in a container, and then what you can do is you can actually use that offcuts to wire the tree. So what I normally do is I just keep it to the one side, and then whenever I'm styling a tree, I can look at the tree and I say, okay, but there's a piece of wire that I already cut off, that I already spent money on, that I can just use for something else. So let me just see. This one is going to be long enough for this part of the tree, but it's not thick enough. So let me just see if there's a thicker piece that I can use. So let's use this one. Okay, that should be long enough. So let's use this one. Also, with the lockdown and everything, there's not a lot of wire around. So it's not like you can actually just start using up all your wire, because there's not a lot of bonsai. I don't think there's any bonsai shops that are open currently. So yeah, whatever you have, just use it sparingly. Yeah. So I do apologize up front for the internet connection. I do see every now and then that there are that YouTube's loading it again and again. So yeah, just make sure I'll repost this video whenever I'm done. So it's going to take a while for me to upload it, but yeah, I really want to see this through to you guys. So this is quite an interesting topic that I'm coming today, and it's styling of what I do. I've actually never done a lifestyle styling before, so yeah, you guys are the first. I've done a few competitions, but I mean, yeah, this is something new for me. So yeah, sorry for the stream if it cuts out. I do apologize for that. There's nothing I can currently do about that, but yeah, I'll keep on checking, seeing if it will reconnect. I see it's reconnecting, but yeah, if it loses out completely, yeah, I'll post the video later on. Okay, so this way I can use a video. This one will go long enough for that one and that one. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do this. So this one's going to go this way. Okay. This one that way. Yeah, what I'm also not trying to do is I'm not going to lie all the way to the edges of the branches, because I've found previously, a lot of people have warned me about it before, especially members of the club, is that you, especially because it's going into winter now, so it's fine for now, but as soon as we go into summer, this trees are actually not going to survive, because the heat generated by the wire will actually burn the tree, so it won't work out nicely for the tree. So yeah, let me do that. Always keep in mind the health of the tree whenever you're styling a tree, because that's the most important thing. So we can do whatever we want, but if the tree is not healthy, yeah, that might just, the tree will take longer to recover, and also it can die if left alone for too long. So it's important that you actually just keep that in mind when you're styling it. So I do see that the stream has disconnected completely. So yeah, I'll re-establish that connection just now. Sorry about that, guys. Just do that now. So I'm just going to stop the stream and restart it.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm still recording on the other side, so yeah, so I will load this up. So it's just basically stopping the stream. Once that's done, I will continue working on the tree for so long. But I just want to get that. I just want to continue working on that stream so that the guys can actually come back and look at the stream. We apologize for that. I saw this morning that there was issues with the internet. Yeah, maybe looking at getting better internet. But during lockdown, it's just been hectic. Just trying to see how much of the internet is being used. Especially because we're at home a lot more than we are when we're not in lockdown. So I just want to restart that stream. I saw that start stream. So yeah, hopefully it will pick up again on YouTube side, and then you guys can actually, I see it connected. So yeah, hopefully the guys come back, because I've lost all of them. So hopefully they come back and they can watch the stream. Sorry about that, guys. It's just bad planning on my side. So there, the connection is back. Hopefully it stays like that. And remove all these old wires, access wires, cutting them off.
Okay, and this one I'm just going to apply once over there. Secure now. That's all done. So the first branch is done, that's done. So I'm basically just going to apply wire to the smaller branches, not the big primary branches. Alright, let's just get this wire off. There we go. I'm just applying wire to this one over here. On. Sorry about that. I see that the stream's actually gone completely crazy, so I won't restart it. What I'll do is I'll continue working on the tree, and once I'm done, I will just post this video, and then we can work. You guys can actually see what I've done on the tree and how it looks once it's done. So, do apologize for that. Okay, so it's going to take me some time to wire this tree. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it within an hour. You should be able to. It shouldn't be a problem because there's not a lot of branches. It's just I want to make sure that everything is imperfect. So the better you apply your wire, the better chances you have of bending everything. So it's always nice just to keep in mind to wire as much of the tree as possible, so that whenever you bend the tree, there is enough wire on the tree. Because if you don't have enough wire on the tree, you might need to add in wire while it is styling. That always causes damage to the bark, because you've already start bending the wire, and you obviously just adding a bit more pressure on the bark, so it always just loses that bark around the wires. And also if you keep on moving the branch too much, bending it in different directions, you will just loosen the bark, and you won't even know that it's loosened until the day that you actually need to remove the wire, and then you'll just see that there are branches that died off, and it would be because of branches being bent and moved so much that it actually came loose from the branch. Here we go, this one's this way. So as I'm applying this wire, the branches actually start to stay in place. But they're not styled yet, so I'm just applying the wire. And I just use my normal pliers and cutters. I know there's a lot of bonsai tools out there and they're quite pricey, so yeah, these work just as well. You're more than welcome to spend the money if you have the money on. Sorry, let me just stop the live stream because it's not working as good as it should. So let me just stop that. Stop. This end. So I'm just going to end that. Okay, cool. So I just want to dismiss this because it's actually, yeah, it's not going to work well. There we go. So yeah, so I'm just going to continue working on this, and then I'll upload this later on, just to give you guys an idea of how the tree turned out. Yeah, let's use this wire. So I'm going to use this wire for this one over here. times I just used the copper wire on this side because I didn't have any other wire that was the right width for this. So with copper wire you can actually use thinner wires as they have a bit more holding power. So let's just get this one into place as well. Start here. Just apply the second piece of wire. So if you don't have the right gauge, you can always apply 2 sets of wire to the same branch just to keep it in place. That just helps you a lot because then you don't have to go out and buy all the different thickness. But if you have the right wire, then obviously it's easier because then you just have to apply it once. But copper wire is a bit better to use, especially on junipers, because they tend to hold better. The aluminium wire, you need a thicker gauge, and because you're working on small branches, and if you're going to add in a bit more detail, copper wire is just a better option. I'm just currently using what I have available. So these branches are all done. So I could just add more wire on this smaller branch over here. Gonna need a lot. So let's go this way. Wired. It's done. This part's done. This part's done. So now we're moving over to the top part of the tree. So yeah, basically we're just going to move wire the 2 bigger ones. Those 2 ones over there. And here is literally just this one branch that I'm going to wire, and then I'm going to start styling the tree. So let's get on to the smaller branches. Just going to apply 2 more wire on there. Should be thick enough to keep it in place. If not, we can just use a guide wire instead, but that's what we do. Let's apply it first and see how we get there. Okay, so let's go that way. This is one more. Go there, and we do this. There we go. Go. You want to make sure that you apply the wire nice and tight, so that there's not a lot of space for the branch, between the branch and the wire, because also what this allows is whenever the branch cuts into the wire, it will swell up and it will actually keep the branch in place a lot better. And that's the important part, because you don't want to continue reapplying wire, because this could be stressful for the tree and also frustrating for you. Like, I don't like working on the same thing over and over, but sometimes if that's what you need when working on bonsai, that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's sometimes how it is. You can't control how trees always respond, but you want to try and work with as little stress as possible on the tree. So avoid working on the tree too much, because you want to leave it some time to recover. You can get great results if you keep continually working on your tree, but that would be to maintain the tree, not to style it every other week, because I know sometimes after you wire the tree, you would come back to the tree and you would see that there's actually a way better style that you could use for the tree. The best thing would be remove the wire, let the tree recover before you do the styling that you would have in mind, because just as I said, it puts a lot of strain on the tree if you just keep on wiring the tree. So it's best to give the tree time to recover before just styling the tree. Let's see how that works. Okay, so that's a long. And as you get used to wiring a tree, you can actually see how nice it is just to wind up there, and you get used to it and you don't put much thought into it. But it looks like I'm just winding up the wires, but I promise you that there's some thought put into it. Because I know it looks a lot easy, and then once you put the wires on, then there's wires all over the tree, and it just looks ugly. It comes with a bit of practice, so I don't get to perfectly the first time. So I just want to take a sip of my coffee. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold as ice. Yeah, make it fun. Play with yourself. Yeah, make it interesting. The tree, interact with the tree, because I think that's important. That's the important thing you want to keep in mind when you're interacting with the tree. It just gives you a lot more sense of what the tree. Because a lot of times we force our perceptions onto a tree, and I don't think that's the best way of doing it. I know it sounds a bit philosophical and this tree has feelings and whatever, but it's something to keep in mind that when you're styling a tree, you need to keep in mind that you need to work according to what the tree will allow, and also interacting with the tree, because every tree responds differently. Like I can't style a juniper like I would style, for instance, a ficus tree, because they both grow at different rates, they have certain preferences. So that's all small things that you need to keep in mind. And also, different techniques work on different trees, so you can't force a technique onto a tree. Like the cut that I just made on this tree, I won't use on other trees, because they might just break off, or they might just die, because they don't like, a lot of trees don't like you working on them too much. They set you their ways, so if you force a technique onto a tree just because you want to try it out, you might end up losing the tree. So yeah, just be careful when working on the trees, and keep that in mind, that every tree has its own way. And even in trees of the same species, like two junipers might be completely different ends of the spectrum. Well, they're the same, they look the same, they respond the same, but there are small differences in trees, like where they came from has also a big role. Like a lot of trees that I've seen, like they're the same type of tree, but they come from different areas and they respond differently to different stuff, because as the tree started getting used to the environment, it made smaller trees, or its seeds grew, and that tree would be different than the parent tree. It would adapt to its situation, so that's something to keep in mind, to just be wary of that trees respond differently even if they are the same species. And that's also why when we grafting on trees, we make sure that the tree that you're grafting on is exactly the same as the parent tree. Because if they're different, they're going to respond differently, because then you're going to have one branch that responds at early autumn, one at late autumn, and yeah, it's just going to look like a weird landscape. Okay, so that tree is almost done wiring. So now I basically am just looking for that one branch. Here you go. This is the one branch that I still need to wire. So it's this branch I still need to wire, then I'm done. Then I'll start styling the thing. I'll take you guys through that as well. Now, just grab this up. Sorry, I know it's not nice to have a piece of wire in your mouth when you're talking. Okay, let's do this. Sip of coffee. It's very cold and I like coffee, so Might as well just finish it. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the trunk first, because that's the biggest. So I'm going to start with so the trunks are already almost in place. And I'll start off setting this branch first, because this will be my first branch, and everything else I would layer and build on top of it. So I'm going to start off with this one. So as soon as I'm done styling it, I'll actually just swing the tree around so that you can see. So yeah, so what you guys can note is that it's right wrapped, that so it's wrapped around this way. So I'm also going to bend the trunk down and towards the viewer. So this is going to be the new front. So let me do that. So I'm just going to keep quiet because as I'm bending the tree's trunk, branch, I'm actually also listening for any cracks. Because if you hear any cracks, that's where the tree's limit is. So what you always try and keep in mind is if you're bending the branch down, make sure that you have a nice thumb under it, and bend it. Don't have your finger thumb and bend it because it will make its own decision on where on the curve it should be. If you have your thumbs there and you bend down, the curve is going to be where your thumbs intersect. Otherwise, if you keep it too wide and do that, the tree is just going to make a big bulge and it's going to snap the branch in two. So have a nice firm grip. So you can see, have a firm grip. Even if you can just get it in there and bend it. So bend and twist. Bend and twist. That helps you tighten the branch, but also it's a lot safer. So then you can get. So let me just. It's also nice just to go down and look at the branch from a distance, because that will help you set the branches nicely. It's always going to create some movement with your branches, so play with it. Actually, as I mentioned, play with some ideas. What you want to do is try and keep the ends nice and up, so it looks like the tree's reaching back up. So make the main branches come down, create some movement, and then from there onwards you can create a beautiful tree. Okay, so I think that branch is set over there. It's going to bend that way. So as you can see over there, you just lift it up a bit. So that's the first branch in place. So now I'll just do the rest, and then I'll do some close-up shots so you guys can actually see how that plays into my entire design. So what I'm trying to do now is sometimes to create the illusion that the tree is welcoming you, so that its arms open towards you, so it's pulling you in, so it's pulling the viewer in. So what I'll do now is this branch comes out from this side welcoming you, and this branch will come from this side, just coming in towards you. So let me do that. Just bend that up. See how it comes down. And you see the tree will be much shorter than when you start out. So you want it to be slightly, you want the second branch to be a bit higher than the first one. Okay, so this is a branch that I'm going to remove, just in the way of the design. Here we go, just a small branch that's in the way. So now we can actually bend this branch a bit closer. So there we go. Okay, I need a bit of wire, so this is something that I spoke about earlier, is like applying enough wire. You don't have to apply wire when you're styling the tree. I don't make our mistakes, eh? So I just need to wire this branch, because I actually needs this branch to be able to move. But also, the other nice thing about branches not being wired is that because you're not wiring all the small branches, and some of them will fall in place automatically, it just increases the chances of the branches surviving, because if you apply too much wire, as I mentioned earlier, the heat of the wire will just burn the wire, and there won't be a lot of branch left. So yeah, so it's also nice to try and limit the amount of wire that you're putting on a tree per styling session. So let me get this in there. I'm just thinking as this now, I should actually just taken a photo of this tree before I started styling the tree. It's too late now, but yes. So what you can do now is you can remove all the small pieces of foliage that's growing down, because that's not going to help you a lot. They're going to die off anyway, so might as well remove them now and increase the chances of the other foliage growing up, growing. Okay. Okay, so that part's done. So as you can see, those two branches are set now. You just lift it up. So those first two branches are set, so now I'll bend the rest of the tree in place. So remember, this is the branches that have, there's a cut in that, where the two branches join in that groove, there's a cut. So what I'll do now is I'll start opening it up slowly, just to give you some movement on that. So I want this to come down to over here, so that I have some foliage here, and then I'll bring the apex back a bit, so that it can just cover up this area, and just that compresses the growth from there all the way down to the bottom part. So here we go. Hope it works. So as I'm doing it, I'm always just listening, keeping my ears on the wire. I'm listening. Getting a crack. It's fine. Small cracks. It's expected. Should go down a bit more. Also, when bending, you keep in mind you don't want to do that. You want to keep the flow as nice as possible. You don't want one branch to have this dramatic bend, and the rest of the tree doesn't have any of those bends in it. So it's important to try and keep styling of the tree the same. Just trying to get this done as fast as possible, and then start bending it up. So now that you see that's down, I'll start bringing it up, and that will create a pad filling up the gap at the back here. So now you just lift these branches on there, and they will form part of the tree over here. Back. Everything's grabbed down. I'll also trim back the tree slightly. Up. looks like I'm going to remove this branch. It doesn't do a lot. And I can't see that it's going to add anything to the tree. So I'm going to remove this branch over here. It's going to be the stump. Otherwise it's just too much there going on over there. And this just opens up the design a bit more. There we go. That looks a bit better. That looks a bit more better. Okay. And now I'm going to bend this. So as you can see, the lower part is done. So I'm going to bend this part of the apex slightly back and angle the smaller branches into place. Okay, so basically done. Just adding in small features. Here we go. And this branch I'm just going to bend back even a bit more. That's a lot of work getting it back. Let's do it. So I can feel it up. There we go. That's the limit. So it's correct. So here we go. So now you can see that the tree is a lot shorter than it was. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to trim back some of the branches. I might just extend this one a bit more to that side. Looks a bit better there. So now we have the trunk. So finishing touch. Just pull that up more. This okay. Good. That. And there we go. Should be, yeah, that's the tree for now. So as you can see, I'm just going to just trim back some of the branch shoots just to promote a bit more growth coming back. And then I'm done with this tree. I would say at this point, if there was any questions, you guys are more than welcome to post them to me. But obviously, soon cut off. So yeah, you guys are more than welcome just to leave any comments that you guys have. Yeah, I'll come back and I'll get notifications, so I'll respond to those questions. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys learned a lot. Yeah, so next week I'll also try and work on, there's another tree that I also started quite a while back, and I think I'm going to work on that tree next week. So, but yeah, as you can see, that there's quite a significant difference in the tree. What I can do is I'll go back to the archives and see if I can't find an old photo of this tree. Actually add this in the description, and then you guys can see how this tree has changed since it was styled just now. Just to give it by some sort of measurement so you can see what's happened. Okay, so that part's done. All good. So now I'm just cutting back the young juvenile growth because they're coming up all over this tree. That's also about good there. So I'm just pushing back this growth as much as possible because you want the new growth to be distributed evenly. Cut that off because you want to be nice round pads. Okay, that's going to come off. It's pointing straight down. There we go. Cut them off. And you just want to create some space in between the pads so it doesn't look awkward. There we go, trying to remove this. Long shoots, cut them all back. Back. There we go. Try and send these long, lengthy shoots back. Okay. Ones up here, come back. So I'm removing quite a bit of growth. Yeah, so just so I can get a lot more. So eventually there will be a branch that goes out from here, so which is this one over here or anything there, and I'll bend that in there, and this will elongate and this will come out all the way to here. So it's going to come out a bit further. So that's what that looks like. So yeah, so that's it. So that's the tree. All started and ready for growing. So now just sorry about that. I just want to angle this down so you can actually take a closer look at this tree. I'm just going to zoom in as well. So now you can actually see how that tree came along from where it was when I started. So there you go, that looks a bit more. So let me just angle the tree so that the front's actually okay. So if you're looking at it, there's actually one piece of growth over here. I'm just going to remove that one over there and this one here. Just want to chuck that in there. There we go. There we go. So that is the tree for now, at least. So there you can see the tree is styled and it looks a bit better. And I'll be taking it from there. So guys, I just wanna just get into my place over here. So you guys can see that that's the tree that I styled. I'm actually just gonna turn it around so you guys can have a nice look at it. From all the angles so that you can see what the tree looks like. So this is the front of the tree. And I'll just be moving it around so that you can see how the tree has been restyled. So hopefully this tree will recover shortly and then we can make it look a lot more like a bonsai tree. So that there is the front. We just angle it so the camera gets, there we go. So over there you can see the trunk and the tree. So yeah, that's it. And hopefully you guys learned a lot. Thank you for watching the stream. If you guys have any feedback, please scan the feedback form, or you can find the link in the description below, and then we can take it from there. So thank you very much for taking the time to spend your morning with me. I do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave it in the section below. Follow me on social media, and then you get more updates on what I'm doing during the week.
So just to give you guys a quick run through, Mondays I normally do feedback from the streams that I did over the weekend. Tuesdays normally just some content like photos, videos of what I did on that day. Wednesdays I try and blog. Thursdays basically the same as Tuesdays. It's just a quick run through of what I did on that day. And Fridays normally I just try and send out notifications and photos of the team that I'll be covering Saturdays. And then Saturday is the live stream from 10 a.m. It's normally an hour. That I think go into a bit longer. So that's how I'll structure my weeks. So you're more than welcome to join in. Thank you for the support.